Right, here goes 2 carriages. Power set about halfway up, slightly unrealistic, but so if we go up the steepest gradient, a bit of a struggle, but we've made it. So back down again. No problems coming down, which means the track's relatively smooth. I don't have any issues with the joins that I've got on the track. And I'll switch to points and see how we charge up the other side. Again, a little bit of a slowdown, but we've got enough traction to get up the outside. Then we'll swing around, slow it down a little for coming down the reverse. Oh, I can hear a slight derail there. So what did we do? Here's where the incline used to start. Used to be on the Woodland Scenics foam risers. I backed up 6 inches, so I now start further back. That's part 1. I'm now using wood, so it's solid, as opposed to trying to put track pins through cork just into foam, which it left some vertical flexibility in the track, so lesson learned for that. So we're running longer. This outer one is a much shallower grade, so about here was where it used to be, so this was very steep, and you can see I've about half an inch or so higher now at this point, so it's more shallow. On this side I've also dropped the height a little, so the height here and here where it crosses this track is now shorter than it used to be. So this wood block used to be my support, and it was about here on the layout, so I've dropped this by about 1/4 inch. I think that was Graham's suggestion, and so I'm quite happy with it now. There is actually a subtle difference between this loco, which is my Tornado, which is tender driven, and this guy, which is my DCC guy, which I believe the engine motor for that one is actually in the engine itself. I'll run another test in a minute. I believe this guy will actually be able to pull 3 coaches up this incline as opposed to the 2. So what I can do for now for sure is, if I want to run a 3-coach train, it comes on the upper track in that direction, and obviously can then come down this track, no problem. If I want to be going in the other direction, I'm going to restrict myself either to a train with 2 coaches or double head in that direction, so that I can then either come down as this guy did on the reverse loop or continue along the upper loop. The other thing that I'll be doing is where this upper loop finishes here, on the other module that I've got, I'm going to use, it's a 6-foot module, I'm going to use about 4 of the 6 feet for the ramp. This is also a 6-foot module, and I've used about 3 foot of the 6 for a ramp that gets me to about 1.5 inches high. So I may be adjusting this end here, so which it will be easy to do because I got it on these bolts. to start dropping way back here, go from a 2-inch height, get it to here to be about 1.75 inches, maybe 1.5 inches, and then I'll have 4 foot on the other module to drop it all the way down to track level. So I will be able to run. I'm feeling confident of being able to run a three carriage length train along the upper branch to then come down this loop. So here's my comparison point. DC loco, engine powered, 3 coaches, same incline, power much reduced, third, so I'm at 2 instead of 3 I was before. Standing start, the bottom of the incline. Not totally smooth, still a little bit of a struggle, bit of wheel spin in the middle, but don't forget, much larger load, and that was a slower speed too. And we're up the same incline with 3 coaches instead of 2. So that said, I don't think there's anything else I can do with the incline, so I'm pretty happy that this is the way it needs to be. So I can start thinking about the plaster cloth here to build this around. Want to get that in place before I start messing around with the track plan down here for the industrial area coming off of this set of pico points at the back here. So I'm going to consider this third and final revision to be it, and move on to a little bit of scenery. Should be good enough now to also ballast these tracks. I've started to put in the additional sleepers in locations where I'd snip the flex track. So here we got some additional sleepers back in place, which means there's no reason to not be able to ballast it.